In a draft class full of talent on the offensive side of the ball, some legit studs on defense have gone under the radar, including a hidden gem by the name of Zaven Collins.
I know you love seeing that. Oh my goodness, that thread through is intercepted. Picked off by Tulsa.
Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma was a star in the making in Zaven, who is not just a stud on the defensive side as a linebacker and safety, but he also was a great dual threat quarterback with over 4,000 rushing yards and 54 touchdowns on the ground, along with over 3,000 passing and 32 touchdowns through the air in his high school career. Although he was a solid quarterback, Zaven had the size to be a dominant linebacker at 6'3", 220. And Tulsa took notice as Zaven didn't even have to leave his hometown for the next level. As a pretty low recruit out of high school, Zaven made the smart move to redshirt his freshman season and used that time to get his linebacking game much more refined. And the patience from doing that paid off big time. In his first actual season, Zaven was doing his thing, and in week 3 against Arkansas State, Zaven had 12 tackles and proved that he could just dominate from the get-go. A few weeks later against USF, Zaven once again was on point with 11 tackles and his first sack at Tulsa. Somehow Zaven continued this performance the following 2 weeks with an insane 26 combined tackles. And after a solid performance a few weeks later against Memphis, Zaven concluded a surprisingly great year with 85 tackles, a sack and a half, and a forced fumble. Going into 2019, Zaven was looking to prove his ability with a consistently great season, and just went off that year with only 2 games below 7 tackles, and a 13 tackle performance against Navy, proving his ability to elevate his play whenever it's needed. The year as a whole was great for Zaven as he upped his production with this time 97 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 deflected passes. Although he could have left for the NFL draft following 2 great seasons at Tulsa, Zaven decided to come back in 2020 to prove that he had more to show. Even though he only played 8 games as a junior, Zaven was on another level, and against UCF he was dominant with not just 10 tackles, but 2 pass deflections and an interception. Fast forward a few weeks, and against Tulane, Zaven's career-high 15 tackles held Tulsa to OT, but he didn't stop there.
It's intercepted by Zaven Collins, 10-5, that's a touchdown for Tulsa, and that's a victory for Tulsa!
Does it get much better than a 96-yard pick 6 to win a game in OT? I don't even know. But Zaven proved that he was elite in 2020 with not just 54 tackles, but 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 pass deflections, and 4 picks, 2 of those being pick 6s. Although he only played in a handful of games as a junior, people took notice as he won not just the Bronco Nagurski Trophy or the Chuck Bernard Award, but also the Lombardi Award as he was the best defensive player in all of college football that year. Not only did the college football world take notice, but Zaven became first-round material and was selected 16th overall to become an Arizona Cardinal.
The Arizona Cardinals select Zaven Collins, linebacker, Tulsa.
Zaven has found a spot in the desert with some talent around him in Isaiah Collins, Budda Baker, Chandler Jones, and now JJ Watt. The defense as a whole is looking great, and so it seems like somewhere where Zaven can really do his thing. Although he was coming in to replace a now Carolina Panther in Hassan Reddick, there isn't crazy pressure on him from the get-go as the team is patient with young talent and he will have time to develop like he did at Tulsa. The situation as a whole seems amazing for someone like Zaven to produce, as he can elevate a linebacking core that has needed help for a while in a division with all sorts of studs. Anyways, Zaven has a shot to prove whether or not he has what it takes, and if he plays like he did in 2020, there may or may not be a Defensive Rookie of the Year in the desert. You may be confused why I have a top 20 pick as a hidden gem after winning nearly every award a defensive player can get, but for some reason I don't hear people talk about him as much as he deserves. Going into the draft, the names that were thrown around on the defensive side were guys like Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn, Micah Parsons, and Caleb Farley. I don't remember hearing anything about Zaven in the mix until the Cardinals picked him up, and that seems odd for one of the best defensive players in all of college football. It may be the fact that he went to a smaller school in Tulsa, or that he wasn't going crazy until 2020. But either way, I feel like he's been underrated for what he can do on the football field. If someone can win a game with a 96-yard pick 6 in OT as a linebacker and still not be talked about, then you kind of just have to accept it and move on. In the NFL, it's great timing for Zaven to get the word out there, and as long as he plays even remotely close to how he did at Tulsa, then people will begin to notice. When it comes to defensive players, I really don't have any idea how to predict stats, so I'll just say I think Zaven will play about as well as he did his first year at Tulsa. Good, but not amazing. It's a whole new team in Arizona, so I'm not expecting Zaven to automatically be on point, but with time I think he could be great. Usually when the team around you plays well, you are at your best. So if JJ and Chandler can do their thing on the line, Zaven and Isaiah in the core, and Buddha in his little area, the Cardinals might be really dangerous. Thankfully for Zaven, the Cardinals trust his play and are letting him go crazy early on. So that experience of getting on the field action will kick in quicker than it would have if he was on the bench. Anyways, Zaven has a production to show that he can perform. So if he does what we know he can do once again, things will be very interesting in the desert. Zaven Collins has flown under the radar for too long, and now that he has made it to the big leagues, I think it's his time to shine.
Johnson has it tipped and it is intercepted. Picked off by Zaven Collins and away he goes.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, it would be awesome if you guys could subscribe, like, and comment down below what videos you guys want next. But anyway, see you guys soon and peace out.